It's like the king of mob movies returned to mob movies. It's a pretty big deal. The Irishman. So The Irishman is directed by Martin Scorsese. It's a straight to Netflix movie, pretty solid grab on Netflix's part, some solid fishing. And this is the true story, supposed true story, based on a true story, which you know the drill by now. If it's based on a true story and it's a Hollywood movie, 50% of it's gonna be bullshit, it's the way it goes. But still based on a true story, and in that it's Robert De Niro. He plays the man the book I Heard You Paint Houses is based off of. Really, this movie's based off of that book. That's what I mean. And it's him telling the story of his life and his time in the mob. From there, you have a 3.5-hour Martin Scorsese mob epic. I mean, shit, what else did you want for Christmas? That's kind of what I asked for. And I'll say this, like, Robert De Niro's great in the movie, but everybody's actually great in the movie. Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino. Al Pacino plays Jimmy Hoffa. I didn't know it was going to be very Jimmy Hoffa-centric. I didn't watch any of the trailers for this movie. All I knew about this movie is that it was using de-aging software to make him younger. New technology and all that kind of hijacked the whole conversation about this movie, and that's all I heard about. But Al Pacino as Jimmy Hoffa is not to be overlooked here. He's great too. I guess I really like it when older celebrities, those legacy actors, those ones who are like, oh man, you crushed it back in the day, you were Hollywood. They may be older now, but they still got it. That's how I felt in this movie, probably coupled with the fact that it's Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in the same film. That concept was the selling point for Heat for me. I was like, dude, they're in a movie together. Yes, let's watch it. And yes, it uses de-aging software. It's different than the Disney de-aging software I have heard, and after seeing it, yes, it does appear to be different. Because Disney de-aging software is like, let's take Michael Douglas's face and make him Michael Douglas from Basic Instinct. But this de-aging software seems to keep the frame of the face and just make it less wrinkly so they do look younger, and it is really impressive. But it's not like he looks like De Niro from Goodfellas or Casino or anything like that. In fact, in thinking about it, that might be because of how he feels rather than how he looks. What I mean by that is there are times where he's moving and you're like, that's right, you're an older guy body with a younger guy face. But it completely works for the movie because it's not supposed to be Robert De Niro the actor, he's supposed to be the younger version of this guy. It's really impressive de-aging software for sure. Also the runtime, yeah, it's long. It's a 3.5-hour Martin Scorsese epic. It might be 3 hours and 20 minutes, I don't want to exaggerate. At that point, what's the difference? However, thinking about it, it's like, what would I take out? And I don't know. It's all relevant. It all works. It's all important. It's the chronicle of this guy's life. I mean, maybe some scenes could have been shaved down a little bit. I wouldn't take any of the scenes out. Maybe they could have been shorter, but they could have been shorter in Casino too. Casino could have been a 2-hour movie. It's not, because that's the kind of epics that Martin Scorsese makes. And it's kind of what's cool about it and cool about him, and I've liked that. I'm not going to draw the line for him now. It's like, look, Casino was fine. Making a movie that's slightly longer than Casino? No. Some scenes could have been shaved to be shorter, but I'm glad they weren't. It's kind of like Hateful Eight on Netflix. The Hateful Eight Extended Edition, I believe it's called on Netflix, is essentially 4 one-hour episodes, which makes it a 4-hour movie, but because it's broken up into episodes, it feels different. So on one hand, maybe they should have done that with The Irishman. However, you also have the ability to watch about an hour of The Irishman, pause or stop it, come back the next day, pick it back up, watch an hour of The Irishman, and break it up among 4 days or so. You can do that. Nothing is stopping you. So you can kind of execute The Irishman how Netflix naturally executes the Hateful Eight Extended Edition for you. Because also, I can't say it's not engaging. It's completely engaging. I turned this on at midnight and I was like, all right, I'll watch the first half now, go to bed, then watch the second half tomorrow. Yep, you're right. I watched it all that night. In my experience, when people are talking about a movie's runtime, really what they're talking about is the movie's time management and pacing. And admittedly, if I'm being honest, this movie does get a little long-winded at times in certain scenes. But by the end of it, I appreciated all of it because it all works for the world building. I wasn't watching this movie to get to the end of the movie. I was watching The Irishman to live in the world. It worked for me, and all that world building does pay off because by the end, when the movie and the character is being very reflective, it makes you very reflective. Not on the world you just saw, but on your own life. That's a powerful thing that this movie completely did pull off. I really appreciated that. I love this movie for that. So in the end, The Irishman I thought was a great return to form for Martin Scorsese. His return to mobster movies. It's not like he swore them off 40 years ago or anything. I feel like he hasn't made them in a while. I thought it was engaging, thought-provoking, insightful. Everyone in the movie did a great job. I thought the characters were great. For me, it's not quite as good as Goodfellas, Casino, or The Departed, but I loved it. He's a damn good filmmaker, and he made a damn good film. Now, I'll say The Irishman is worth watching and worth buying on Blu-ray, because if you don't own the physical copy, okay? You're just renting it, folks. I'm just saying. All right, so The Irishman. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite Martin Scorsese film? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.